COVID-19 kills fandom, or does it? Up next on Geek Out SA. Welcome back to Geek Out SA. It's Friday and we're having fun.
Are we having fun though?
We are having fun because it's the end of the work week.
Uh-oh, I've got COVID-19.
Oh, no.
No, I touched my face. I gave it back to myself.
Don't do that.
Don't do that?
Don't do that.
No, you didn't see the NBA player that was doing all that, and he was the one that infected everybody and got the league shut down.
I did not see that. That's awesome. That's hilarious.
Karma.
That's karma right there.
Yeah, don't do it.
I do have allergies.
COVID-19, it's a big thing that's happening right now all over the world. I think Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson have it, and they're stuck in Australia.
Oh, dear. Yeah, Stuart, what's up with your country?
What's up with your country?
Infecting famous people.
It's Tom Hanks. He's been through worse.
I mean, he was on a deserted island with just a volleyball, and he managed. So he was stranded in, an airport one time. So he was almost thrown into a volcano.
Pop Culture Geekery says it's TikTok Colleen.
Yay! Hi, it's me. Just wait, I'm gonna do a Friday the 13th dance later. It's gonna be good. Stuart hates it. He hates TikTok. So no, to my knowledge, I don't have COVID-19. I do have allergies. But really I was doing pretending the coughing and everything and touching my face, because if you have been living under a rock and you don't know, you should not be coughing into your hands. Even if you don't suspect that you have something, do not cough into your hands. Do not rub your face unless you've washed your hands, which I have washed my hands and not touched anybody, by the way, and I have allergies, so my face itches. But if you have allergies, wash your hands a lot before you touch your face, especially if you're out in public. For those kids out there that are watching...
So if you cough, where do you cough?
You have to dab, right? So, you know how to dab? So,
Show us how to dab.
So this is how you dab. Okay, that's a dab. So when you cough, you have to go... because you don't touch anybody with the inside of your elbow. Or you can cough into your shoulder.
So yeah, cough into your sleeve.
Cough into your shoulder or cough into the inside of your elbow, but don't touch your hands, okay? And then really you shouldn't be touching anybody else's hands at this point, right? Don't be shaking hands.
And if you're like coughing, you probably shouldn't be at work.
Right, but so that's tough. That's tough though. That's tough because we've been young and we've been poor and we've been in jobs where we didn't have sick leave. And we've had 3 kids to take care of. So that's a tough call to tell people not to do, right? It's tough.
And the American work culture is typically, if you've got something minor, you go to work.
You go to work, yeah. Yeah, you go to work.
Suck it up and go to work.
And it's unfortunate because I work as a teacher in a place with 1,300 children and 30 other teachers, and then there's office professionals and stuff. So if I take something to school...
Yeah, but if you work at a school, really you're immune to the coronavirus.
You're supposed to be touching your face.
I know, my eye's really itching now. My allergies are really bothering me.
We're gonna get comments.
Well, so for spring break, I took everything out of my bedroom and dusted and everything, and so my allergies, that's what I do on spring break is spring cleaning. So my allergies act up because I've had dust in my face all week.
So thank you, Dr. Beardenstein Gaming, for watching us right now. He says, "Hola, everyone. How's it going?"
Hola.
We have Dynamo Monsters on. It says hello.
Dynamo Monster.
And yeah, so is the coronavirus or COVID-19 killing fandom?
Kind of.
It kind of is.
Kind of, yeah. It kind of is.
In a big way.
And here's the problem is because so many conventions and stuff are having to cancel, it's killing some of these smaller businesses that rely on the convention scene to stay open. And we know a lot of people in the tabletop gaming industry.
Right.
If these tabletop gaming conventions get canceled, that's a huge amount of revenue for them, which could mean payroll and stuff for their people. This could be a huge trickle down for fandom.
And maybe not so much as they make a lot of money there, but they make a lot of connections there, and they make a lot of, hey, this is my product, and later on throughout the year they get people to buy those games. But you get that by exposing them to that at a gaming convention.
Well, and here's the thing too. Conventions are all kind of set up in like a season, in a pattern, right? Mm-hmm. So it's you go to this convention in this area, and you go to this convention, and it's kind of like being part of a traveling circus if you're mm-hmm. part of the convention scene. So some of them have been canceled indefinitely. Some mm-hmm. of them have been canceled and postponed to a different date.
Right.
So then what does that do to the other dates? And then because they're spread out enough so that people can recoup some of their revenue and come back to another con and spend money again.
Yeah.
So what is that going to... It's going to trickle out so far.
It is.
So I already know that AllCon has been canceled. Adepticon was canceled. Hill Country Comic Con has been postponed until August.
Fiesta,
which is a big event for San Antonio. I'm really worried for our city. We're from San Antonio. Fiesta is a huge economic boom to this city. It's something that we need. It is a
big boost to the economy.
Economically, every year. It's canceled until November.
Yeah.
In November, when people are now trying to celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas and pay for those things. So are they going to want to come and spend the money?
San Antonio Fiesta. Come on.
I know, but it's not. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm concerned about it.
It's different because it's so close to the big holidays.
Mm-hmm. I'm concerned about the economic turn.
I think it'll be a big party because you're not going to be watching any sports because they're all cancelled.
Yeah.
So it might be a big release.
I don't know. I mean, I think that people that are making movies should be concerned too.
So they postponed and pushed back the new James Bond movie and also the new Fast and Furious movie because
did they really?
They did.
Oh, Mizumi-Con got cancelled. Big Force got cancelled. Big Force.
Well, I knew that Mizumi had posted that they were going to continue to monitor it and see what they were going to do about it.
Well, Dr. Beardenstein Gaming says Mizumi-Con and Bitforce Con this weekend got canceled as well.
Yeah, I know Bitforce Con got cancelled because I'm friends with one of the guys.
Yeah, and I was watching like Mizumi because I saw something pop up from them and it just said that they were going to continue to monitor it, and as it got closer to their date, they were going to make a decision.
Yeah.
So, well, and I hate to be this person, but I'm gonna be this person on the show. If you've been to a con, if you're a con goer, which a lot of us who are involved in fandom, we are con goers in some way or another, right? We've been to some form of con. And those of us who go out there and sell things or promote, or we go with our show or whatever, we all know what con crud is, right? So con crud is basically a cold flu-esque type thing that a lot of people get after the con because you're in close proximity to hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of people, and I don't know how to put this
lightly. And then you kind of don't feel as bad for the celebrities that stand there and then put hand sanitizer on their hands. It makes you think about it again that, oh, well, they're being rude. But you're like, well, when you're exposed to that many people, and when you're in the con industry, and then you go to these cons, there's a way you can like prevent yourself from getting that stuff by like doing the same thing that they're asking to do for the COVID-19 or the coronavirus.
Yeah, I always carry little things of hand sanitizer for Vincent and I to use, and I'm going to be this bad person, and I've been trying to think of a nice way to say this, but I'm just going to say it. A lot of people that are geeks or nerds or into fandom are not the cleanest people in the world.
I got some cool stuff right here real quick. So we have TRH 201044 says sports and fandom Fiesta. The gym was like a ghost town. Flash production has been postponed. The TV show.
Right, the TV show The Flash.
So yeah, I mean, it's affecting everything across the board. Is it going a little overboard? Maybe. Well, I know.
No.
I know
no.
our mayor has gone out in town and spoke and kind of said what needed to happen and how they wanted to eliminate 500 people or more gatherings to be postponed. And that's the same thing that our governor of Texas talked about today as well. So everybody's kind of on board with it, but there's kind of a reason behind why they're doing this. Not necessarily because it's that bad. It's because we don't have an infrastructure, and you have a little more information about that because we have some viewers that work in the medical field.
Yeah, so we know people that are in the healthcare business, and so I was talking to some of them because as an educator, I want to be educated and I want to know what I'm doing. And as a science educator, obviously I understand to wash your hands and things like that, and I always tell my students the same thing, and I've taught them, do the dab cough and stuff like that. But this is like the flu, and we have had just in my school alone at least 100 kids out for 2 weeks with the flu this year. The flu is dangerous. The flu is extremely dangerous. People get very sick for weeks. There were like 310,000 deaths from the flu last year internationally. So I thought, what's the big deal with this, right?
I think just in California alone last year, there were 61,000.
Yeah. And it's like, so what? What's the big deal, right? COVID's not any worse than the flu. It's actually like marginally less than the flu, right? So I'm talking to some of these healthcare professionals, and they said it's not that it's so bad for me, right? I'm 46. I'm fairly healthy. I don't have any, immunity problems. But I'm 46 and I get a cough and I don't have great health care and I go to the ER. And my neighbor gets a cough and there's this fear now of COVID-19 and they go to the ER.
Right.
And a couple of people down get a cough and they go to the ER. And all of a sudden, a system that is already overtaxed with people, right, becomes overwhelmed with people. And somebody in that group is possibly or probably going to have COVID-19 or the flu or something else.
Yeah.
And now you have all these people packed into this ER even more than you had before, and in urgent care centers and in med clinics and basically in every healthcare center that we have is going to be packed with people, and now it is going to spread.
Yeah.
And it's going to spread, and it's going to spread, and it's going to spread, and it's going to spread. And then the healthcare professionals can't keep up with it. And then the people who do have immunity problems, the people who are elder, like my mom, I called my mom because she's 70. And I said, if you need anything, don't go out there right now. Just let me do it. Yeah. Those people are potentially going to die because the system's going to be so overtaxed that the healthcare professionals can't get to the people who really need it in time to help them.
Right.
So that is where the problem lies. And back to what I was saying before, I mean, let's just be honest. A lot of people in fandom are not very clean. I know it's a joke. It's a running joke all the time, like deodorize, shower, right? If people put it in program books and stuff, But it's not funny when something like this is a problem. The reason we get con crud is because people don't have good personal hygiene. They don't have good, illness etiquette.
Right.
We don't. We don't have good illness etiquette. I mean...
To go like this.
Yeah. Yes.
And then wipe it on the table.
Yes. I've seen grown-ups. Like, when I see kids do it, you're like, okay, that's a little kid, right? And you jump on them and try to teach them better. But I've seen grown-ups do that. Use the back of their hand, use the front of their hand, wipe it on their shirt or something, and then go hug somebody. Or go shake their hand or pat them on the back or something.
Yeah.
Until we have some common sense as a species, I guess we have to shut down all this stuff. What I don't understand, though, is we don't shut down for the flu, which is more dangerous than this.
Yeah.
As far as I remember, we didn't shut down for the avian flu, the swine flu, and any of the other numerous things that we had that were like this. And I still haven't seen a good reason why they've decided that this is the one.
I think this is the one because it got over here so quickly.
Well, but the world has opened up so much now.
Yeah, but it got here a lot quicker than those other viruses did.
Well, because people are traveling.
And now it's like out in the community, even though people are out there.
World travel is very inexpensive and very quick now, so...
Yeah, so people are bound to go, and it's traveling time right now.
30 years ago, it was a little bit more harder to get to, but now it's like...
And when you're going in between and hitting different cities to get your next flight, you can come in contact.
You're coming in contact with all who knows what. Yeah. Well, yeah, and if you just put something down in a chair or whatever, you don't even know what you're picking up, you know, from who was there before you or whatever. Now, my understanding for the COVID-19 is that it has to be person-to-person contact. So you have to get coughed on, or somebody has to like cough their hand or something and touch you. So it has to be person-to-person contact. But one of the things...
it's not necessarily considered airborne?
Not necessarily considered airborne. That's why they're asking people to stop buying all the masks, because the healthcare professionals actually need the masks because of all the other things that they're actually exposed to. Let's just say that this is my new fashion accessory for the next couple of weeks is a bandana, because I'm going to totally west side it if I have to. And that thing's going over my face if I get somewhere where people are coughing and hacking. Like, I will go puro San Antonio on people. And there will be a bandana right here. Did you used to do that? Like when you were growing up, my dad used to have us do that when we were mowing the lawn.
Oh, cover.
You had to put the bandana over your face when you were mowing the lawn. Yeah, it was a thing. So I don't know. But I was like, I don't need a mask. I'm just going to wear my bandana. I'm just going to flip it out and tie it around my face. And I don't want any of your germs.
So what are some other cons? E3. E3 has been canceled.
Yeah, but I think that was more because of everybody was dropping out of that anyway. E3 is kind of dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have that, but and here's another thing, and people are getting upset that people are being overly cautious. It may not even be that they're being overly cautious. Now that this is on, this COVID-19, this coronavirus is out, to get insurance for an event of that size is a lot more than it would be otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now they're like, oh, well, give me more money to cover all this of what might happen.
Well, that's the other thing we haven't even started to see is when people start suing the heck out of everybody else. Because that's coming.
Yeah, and they're also saying masks aren't that effective from what I read.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not.
They're not. The most effective thing is wash your hands. Wash your hands, wash your hands.
Or buy a hazmat suit.
No. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face when you're out in public.
Masks are effective on the infected people because that way they're coughing into the mask.
Into the mask, yeah.
WonderCon was postponed indefinitely.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So,
like, I've been looking. It's a lot.
And forth, so it really is killing fandom right now.
So one of the things that people are always promoting is to buy local. Of any time, this is the time that needs to happen. I realize that Amazon is convenient. I realize that you can get cheaper things at like Target and everything.
Until Amazon shuts down.
They won't.
But what happens when the trucks and that can't go anywhere?
The drones will come out.
The drones.
They have the drones.
Oh, I didn't think it's conspiracy. Amazon.
It's an Amazon conspiracy, so they could.
Drones, I like it.
Well, and not everything's closing because I keep checking Sherwood because I thought for sure Sherwood Forest Fair would postpone, right? Hold off. Nope. They said, wash your hands. Don't come if you're sick. We're open. So, but you can't make people not go somewhere if they're sick. And people could be what's called asymptomatic, which they carry it, but they don't have any symptoms.
Yeah. And if people were to do events anyway, it might be good to go to them because there won't be a ton of people there and you'll get to do whatever you want.
Well, you know, I had heard that Disney World and Disneyland have closed as well.
They have closed.
And Fiesta Texas.
Fiesta Texas closed, yeah.
That's crazy. I was like, darn it, I was going to go to those places. There's fewer people there now.
What's happening with the zoo is I haven't even heard anything.
I haven't even heard. Yeah. I don't know.
But they've closed schools next week. All over town.
Yep.
All over Dallas, all over Houston, I think, as well.
Houston has had more cases than we have here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And people were really worried about San Antonio because of all the evacuees that went to Lackland, but those people were in quarantine. I know that one person escaped and made it to North Star, but...
Well, like it would. But we shut that down and cleaned it.
We shut it down and cleaned it. It's fine.
It's fine.
Well, and I think the person that escaped wasn't even, like, tested negative. They didn't even test positive for it, so it wasn't...
Now, yeah, when they rechecked that person that person was positive.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, well. And then all these cruises. Can't go on a cruise.
Yeah, but they're going to be so cheap now.
Well, no, you can't go. They've canceled. No. So when are they going to shut down all the airports and stuff?
But the thing, when everything is fine and done, there's going to be a good 2 months where it's going to be real.
Where they're trying to remake all their revenue?
Because right now, you can get tickets to, like, Las Vegas for, like, $75 round trip.
Nice.
On an airplane.
Have to jump on all that.
Yeah.
So my biggest concern with Fandom is not necessarily the big things, right? Nothing's going to happen to DC. Nothing's going to happen to Marvel. You know, people are still going to love those things. People are still going to keep wanting them. It's not that we won't want them or like them. It's just going to kill or really harm some of these smaller businesses.
But here's even what happened to smaller businesses. Somebody came to Tabletop Generals, and Tabletop Generals is going to be closed for the next 2 weeks because somebody that went there was exposed to somebody that tested positive.
Oh, really?
For COVID-19.
Yeah, so here's this small business that now can't open for 2 whole weeks, that loses out on 2 weeks worth of revenue.
Yeah. That's kind of, for a small business like that, that's tough.
That's tough. Yeah. So, yeah, it's not necessarily going to kill any of these really big companies or corporations, but maybe some of these smaller cons too. Like Hill Country Comic Con just got started. And now it's had to postpone from till August. Well, so then what else is going to be happening in August that maybe people can't go?
Well, there was a thing, there was this, it was in the news where a lady was really upset because they canceled the rodeo in Houston.
Yeah, I heard that.
And what people don't understand is sometimes you put all your money into this one event because that's the way to, that kind of like evens out the rest of your year. And that continues to make you a business. Whereas if since this happened and it closed down, that lady's not going to make any money.
Right. And she's already shelled out all this money.
It's going to destroy her business.
That's concerning.
That's one bad thing about all of this that's happening.
Well, and the other thing is, how do we... Okay, we're going to not do this for a week or 2 or whatever. But like we were saying earlier, what about all of these people who don't have insurance or don't have good insurance or don't feel like they can go, who don't have sick days off, right? So now you have people going and they're still... It's funny because some of my friends do like... Uber Eats and DoorDash and stuff like that, and they're like, man, I'm making like all this money because people don't want to leave their houses, but you're still ordering from a fast food place that has people making your food that could potentially be sick.
Giving it to a driver who could be sick.
Or
who's then delivering it to more people who could get sick from that. Yeah. So where
or you get exposed to the people that you're delivering to, and the delivery guy gives it to the other people that he's delivering to. So it's
right. So where do we stop the shutdowns? Right. Where do we stop?
You can't.
You can't.
You test everybody, and that's not going to.
And that's not viable either. No. It's not a viable
because
option.
they don't have enough tests to do that. I think they only have tests here in San Antonio to do like like 234 a day.
Oh, really?
People. And nothing more than that.
I'm surprised, since we're kind of like Medical Center USA, that we don't have more.
They don't have enough tests
prepared.
Yeah.
So I worry, and then especially if they're going to push back. So what does this do to all the seasons? They're going to push back these movie releases. So then if they push that movie release back, then they're going to push another movie release back, and they're going to push another movie. And then if they stop filming things like they're doing with the Flash,
people are not going to go to the theaters.
Uh-huh.
Because they're worried about contracting the virus.
Yep. Being in that bubble with all those people.
So the people that work at the theaters, what's going to happen to them?
Well, and theaters were already...
They're already
going down. They're already struggling because people that are younger than we are don't really go to the movies anymore. They just wait for Netflix, which I don't get, because a movie theater is like so awesome. Like the big giant screen and everything. That's like super cool. That's the whole point of going to the movies.
And they're like, meh.
No, and I totally miss being able to stay and watch the movie several times. That's a thing that bugs me, but... Like, now that there's nobody there, can I go and, like, watch a movie and just stay? Keep watching it. So, it's just a trickle-down effect. And then if you think about, Tabletop Generals, what if you think about Dragon's Lair and Alien Worlds and stuff like that?
I think Dragon's Lair put out a thing that they're going to remain open. And they have really good, strict cleaning policies in place right now to make sure.
That doesn't matter. Unless you're testing somebody at the door, cleaning doesn't mean anything.
No, because they have all of these open gaming nights where people pack in that whole space playing games and everything. I mean, I know that they're saying...
but they're all asking, if you're sick, don't come.
Yeah, who's going to listen to that?
Well, you can't police everybody.
I know, but that's what I mean.
But how can you remain in business without being in business?
You can't.
You can't.
So, it's kind of a catch-22, right?
Yeah.
And then, like Stuart said, what's going to happen if these businesses stay open and then somebody gets sick and somebody says, well, you should have closed, and I got sick?
Oh, well, Black and Silver Diamond says, I clean a mall, so I have to deal with virus panic all the time.
Really? I mean, I deal with it at the school, being as a school employee, being a teacher. I have pretty much stock in Lysol and Clorox wipes and stuff like that.
But here's the thing. If you have somebody that's sick and they clean often enough, they can make it to where the trail that person has left in that place is kind of like eliminated. Mm-hmm. So you won't necessarily eliminate that exposure if that person got close to somebody else, right. But you can eliminate if he left some kind of virus footprint.
Well, yeah, so because this has been coming up and because the flu season has been so bad, in my classroom I can't do anything like you said about the kids that are in front of each other, right? They're face to face. But at the end of the day, I Lysol everything and I Clorox wipe down the tables. Mm-hmm. So that when we begin the day anew, but I can't do that between every single class and wipe down the table between every single class. So it's kind of like fighting a losing battle when you're in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Where it's nonstop, which I could see being at a con too. Like, it's just nonstop moving people. Mm-hmm. There's no way you could clean enough one area. People would just be filtering through it and through it and through it and through it and through it. So you're never going to be able to.
Yeah, and I haven't heard. I saw something from San Japan, and I think they said since they're so far out that they're going to go.
Yeah, they're just going to have to wait and see.
They're wait and see. But who knows by that time.
Well, they were going to do Mini-Con.
May.
In May. Okay. In May. So they've got a ways to go for that too. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was in the beginning of April or not.
No, it's in May.
The beginning of April, we may still be seeing some fallout. How long do you think, just if you were to guess, how long do you think we're going to have to continue to see postponements, cancellations, things of that nature?
I foresee at least a couple of months.
You think so? just because the gestation of this is 2 weeks. So
yeah, but that doesn't mean anything because you can pass it on in a family and pass it back to a person possibly because we don't know that much. It could be keep on going for like months until we figure out something to do with it.
Yeah, just until, that's what I'm wondering. How long is it going to take us before we figure out what to do? Forever. Well, from what I've researched, because I've read some medical journals, I actually used to work in at UT Health Science Center and helped do research out there, so I can sort of read a medical journal. I'm not a doctor, but this particular strain of the coronavirus, because there are numerous strains of the coronavirus is actually an overarching term for viruses that have nodes sticking out that look like a crown. So there are several coronavirus.
So this is why you've seen coronavirus on the Lysol.
Right, because there are several different coronaviruses. This is just a specific one called COVID-19. From what I can tell from the medical journals that I've read, as far as back as I can tell, in 2009 was the first time that they really started putting out research documents about COVID-19. So it's not that this is something brand new. It just hadn't spread enough to become something that people were paying attention to, right? Yeah. There were a few doctors here and there researching it, and just like the swine flu, people don't realize that the swine flu, the avian flu, all those things, people have researched those before, they just didn't become widespread. So there was some research to them beforehand. People knew about them before they became a public health issue, but you know, we're just researching how to make antibodies, how to make medicines. That doesn't necessarily mean that just because we know that they exist, that they're going to go out and kill everybody, right?
But the thing is, with this one, the last I heard, it was going to take them 5 years to come up with a vaccine for this virus.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it at all.
5 years. It's a long time.
What's a long time? The fortunate thing is it's not that severe. So if it's something that we can figure out how to treat, and so we can help the elderly patients, we can help the people with immunity problems, which the people with immunity problems already have to be careful about a million other things anyway. So it's not like this is something new for them. The elderly really have to be careful. Little babies and stuff really have to be careful. Yeah. So it's not like these are outliers in our community that we don't already know have to be careful, right?
So I think if you were just to be clean, wash your hands, we might be able to like nip this, but people aren't going to do that.
I don't know.
We have Lynn's Kitchen watching. He says, hey friends. I was like, hey Lennon, thanks for watching.
I hope Lennon's using good hand washing techniques as he shows people how to cook things too.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get salmonella from raw meat either.
No.
Really, you know, washing your hands is really good for a lot of things, actually. Come to think of it, you should wash your hands. And instead of hoarding toilet paper, you should hoard hand soap.
You know that nobody's gotten like trichinosis in like decades?
Really?
From pork?
From pork?
Yeah.
Because we know better than to go eat a raw piece of pork.
No, it's not because of that.
Oh, what is it?
It's just that it's not in there anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did we genetically modify it so it's not a thing anymore, or what?
I don't think so.
No?
I also heard that there's a video game out there that is going to actually help. Did you read this?
Mm-mm.
It's actually going to help with figuring out the proteins, because it's a video game about like connecting the right proteins to a virus or something like that.
Really?
And
do you remember what it's called?
I forget what it's called, but I'll do some more research and I'll post it out later. But that's something that's come up recently that was researching in the news that's something that's coming out of all this technology that is helping people. So it'll be video gamers that are actually solving this problem with the coronavirus, not necessarily the scientific researchers that are out there.
Interesting. That'll be it. That'll be cool. That'll be a different side of fandom, huh? And then when we're all using CRISPR and doing that too.
Oh, the swine flu was a public issue in 1976. It was known as early as 1918. So it's been around for a long
Right. We
long
know about
time.
these things.
Yeah.
People just aren't educated and don't realize that we know about them for a long time before they become a public health issue.
And then we don't necessarily know the strain because there's mutations that happen over time because they get immune to certain things. Because you can take antibodies that won't work on certain viruses.
Right. And then people who have been taking medicine for every little thing that they've ever had have made it so that they're less likely to be able to make their own antibodies by themselves. So, you know, it's a catch-22. But I was gonna say, you know what we should do some research on? If anybody's put out research, I think it would be really interesting, is to check on like the Netflix numbers or something and see how many people have watched Outbreak, Contagion. What are some of the other movies like that? Like, I feel like people are probably binge watching like all of those.
28 Days.
28 Days. Is it Contagion or Outbreak that has the little monkey? I can't remember. I haven't watched it in a long time. I feel like
K says San Antonio announced today that they will start doing drive-through testing. Yeah, I think I heard that in the...
Yeah. Well, and I know people are concerned because they think that people are going to come to San Antonio. But again, San Antonio is well prepared. We are up there when it comes to the medical community. We have UT Health Science Center. We do have Brooks and Lackland. We do have the Methodist Complex. We have a lot of medical professionals here in San Antonio. Nursing and being a nurse practitioner and all of those things are some of the highest numbers of jobs here in San Antonio. So we probably are a little better equipped than some other places.
But there's still a shortage even here.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
For per capita, we need way more than we have. So that's why unless you have the symptoms for the coronavirus, which I think one of the main ones is you have shortness of breath.
Shortness of breath and coughing, because they said that even not everybody even gets a fever from it. So you won't even necessarily have a fever. I think they only said like, I forgot the statistics, but it wasn't like a lot of people that even had the fever.
Yeah.
It was only like 30% or something of people presented with fever. So you don't even know, like if you're just coughing and you're having a hard time breathing, we're all from San Antonio. We may think it's our allergies. People have seasonal asthma. You know, you may not even know. And if you're healthy and you take, you know, your vitamin C and your allergy meds and maybe you grab some cold and flu and some Mucinex or whatever and take what you would normally take at home, you could help yourself and be fine and not even know.
I mean, there's a reason you get a fever. I mean, you heat up like that is because of your white blood cells.
Yeah, your body's trying to
to defeat the virus that's in you. Yeah. And if your body's not fighting that
then you're in trouble.
Then you're in trouble.
I would just say, you know, we love Fandom. We all love Fandom. For right now, just because my mom is 70 and I take care of her, I'm just going to be a little more cautious. And because I'm a teacher and I take care of a lot of kids, I'm going to be really cautious. You know, Vincent and I want to go to Sherwood Forest, but we're probably going to not for a little while. We probably won't be going... I'm not going to go with him.
Well, just stay 6 feet away from people.
I'm just going to use my lightsaber. This is my space. Stay out of it. I just hope that people, you know, are reasonable with what they're getting at the store, that we stop, you know, being so crazy about things. I understand that you're concerned that you're going to have to be in your home. But think about people like my mom who are 70. Think about people who are at home with little kids. Because now that toilet paper is gone, people are buying out baby wipes. And now these parents that have little bitty kids, I mean, yeah, you can put them in the shower or in the tub too and wash off their booties, but, you know.
Or if you have a bidet.
Yeah, you can get one on Amazon. Just be mindful of what you do. Please be clean. If you're going to go to the comic store, which is great, please support your local comic store and everything. But be clean. Don't touch people for a while. And just, you know, just kind of like you would do during flu season anyway.
Yeah.
Just kind of be conscientious. That's all we're asking.
Yes, definitely. Please stay safe. I really appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed, click on that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, and then you'll know the next time we go live or put out a new video. But thanks for checking us out. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and that's Stuart.
Geek out, SA.